Hey, what's up, you guys? This is Chase with US Cryotherapy Austin. We got an amazing Chase's Corner for you guys today. It is back. It is the first Friday of the month, and of course we distribute all things Chase's Corner, all things cryotherapy, talking about some of the procedures that we have here. And today, on episode 6, we're going to be talking about the fear of the cold, okay? What really kind of makes you scared of the cold? And really it kind of boils down to a lot of different factors, whether it's, extreme temperatures, or whether it's even just like, you just want to warm up again. So we have a couple things here at US Cryotherapy that help put you at ease when dealing with the fear of the cold. Let me show you. First of all, okay, our facility is normal room temperature. This is not a crazy freezer all the time. The only thing we're really making cold in here is the whole body chamber. Of course, this is sub-zero temperature we're talking about, and it is very cold, but it's not as cold as you think. And the reason why is it is dry air, it's not wet air, okay? And as you can see with the chamber right now, okay, we're floating around a negative 165. You walk in and sometimes it is a little challenging for that first time, but it's very important to understand that it's all about breathing while you're inside. You're gonna be just fine in there. That extreme cold temperature is so beneficial for your health. Just work through that first 2.5 minutes to get a good baseline reading to get you where you need to be on injury recovery, on health and beauty component, increasing collagen production, or just reducing inflammation all the way around. Now, the cool part about that negative 165, and one thing to remember about sub-zero temperatures in here, is that the temperature is fairly irrelevant. What we look for out of any treatment is a decrease of surface skin temperature. So for those of you regulars that are watching right now, this is the bread and butter. We tell you this every single time. It can be negative 120, it can be negative 180. We look for a decrease of 30 to 45 degrees on surface skin temperature because that's what activates the central nervous system. Okay, and now all of that jargon, all of that kind of decreased surface skin temp, it's a little intimidating, okay? And we're the first ones to admit that, right? It is a little intimidating, but it kind of comes back to, we don't need to be fearful of this. We don't need to be intimidated by cold therapy, okay? We have a couple different, procedures in here that help address that fear of the cold. And the first thing that I just want to voice, and it's the simplest thing that we do, is we have a 4-person chamber. Okay? If you have a fear of the cold and maybe have a little bit of trepidation going into this kind of environment, bring a friend, bring a colleague, bring maybe a family member. Put yourself at ease by going into the chamber with someone that you're very familiar with, someone that you can dance around with, maybe kind of talk it out and kind of go through that challenge with, and that's a really fun experience, and that's something that makes us wildly unique because we are the only 4-person chamber in Texas. Okay, so that's number one. If you're intimidated, bring a friend. It helps a lot, okay? And number 2, let me show you some of the cardio equipment that we have going on here, okay? We want to rewarm the body immediately after whole body cryotherapy. We don't necessarily want to just throw you in a cold chamber and then say, adios, you're on your way. We want to rewarm the tissue again, and one of the best ways to do that is with our vibration plate technology, okay? So this literally looks like one of those old school kind of vibration shakers, and there's like, oh yeah, you're gonna tone your body. I hate to break it to you, this isn't gonna tone your body, but what this is really gonna do well is promote blood flow and promote lymphatic drainage, okay? Things that are absolutely necessary to accelerate that recovery process following cryotherapy. Cryotherapy is an excellent stimulus. It is a very cold stimulus, which is why we want to rewarm the body up, get the body moving. And all this shaking, it helps heat the body up as well as promote that blood flow by engaging your vestibular system. So basically you get very small muscle contractions, rewarms the body in 3 to 5 minutes. And of course this thing can really go up all the way. So you can kind of challenge yourself with the vibration technology, and that really does heat you up. And then number 3 on our process and protocols, okay, is actually our personal protective gear. You never go in naked, and that is absolutely silly. I can't even tell you how many times I've heard some of the cryotherapy users in the area telling me they go into their chamber naked. It is blasphemous. You do not need to go in naked, and to be honest, there's no reason to. It really is no reason. You don't need to be naked in order to get the health benefit of cryotherapy. All we need is uniform skin temp drop. You wear shorts for guys, and then women go in sports bra and shorts, but keep in mind you don't have to go in with all that kind of skin exposure, you can actually go in with a tank top. Okay, things that we provide for every single customer that walks through the door. You can wear a tank top instead of a sports bra, or even gentlemen, wear that tank top. Get those arms exposed. That's what we're looking for. And of course, we do want to wear shorts. We want to wear shorts while we're inside to maximize the lower extremity skin exposure. But you know what? A lot of our female customers, they go in leggings, and that works for them. Okay, you don't necessarily have to go in a bikini or a Speedo to get the full benefit of cryotherapy. You can go in with clothes that you're comfortable with, which is really, really important to us. And now the last thing I really want to touch on with the fear of the cold is why. Why do we have a fear of the cold? And that's something that I spent a lot of time on. I spent a lot of time just talking to some of my colleagues, talking to some of the other managers and owners here at US Cryotherapy. And when we talk about fear of the cold, it kind of boils down to this standardization. Like, people are so regular with temperature. If it gets warm in their apartment, they're gonna put on the AC. If it gets cold in their apartment, they're gonna put on the heat. People are very regular with their thermal regulation, and it's not necessarily something that they're used to. They're not used to these extreme environments, and it's a very stressful environment. But what we find across the board in the health and wellness industry is that if we apply a stress in moderation, it's incredibly health beneficial. Okay, and for example, let's take working out. You stress your body for an hour, you're gonna feel pretty dang good afterwards. There's a lot of health benefits associated with fitness and really stressing just a cardiovascular response from working out, and that's just beyond the cardiovascular benefit, beyond the hypertrophy and muscle gain benefit. This is like a dopamine response. And there's actually links to increasing sex drive with fitness and actually exercising regularly. So there's a lot of benefit just to applying that stress. A lot of that comes down to a molecule called cortisol. Okay, cortisol is a very misunderstood molecule in the body. People just assume cortisol is the stress molecule. If you have too much cortisol, it's bad for you. In reality, cortisol in moderation, okay, is actually very good for you. And that's what happens when you go into a stressful environment, including cold therapy, hot therapy, heat therapy, and working out. You get a little bit of this cortisol release, and it's very, very beneficial. And one analogy I kind of like to give people is, when you're talking about, let's just say the culinary scene here, okay, and you're talking about spicy foods, you're talking about umami foods, you're talking about foods that just have a different palate, right? Something that you may not think is palatable, but in reality, it opens up flavor profiles, right? The way I kind of relate that to cryotherapy is an extreme stimulus. It may not be palatable for first-time users on that first experience. However, it opens up this potential for human optimization. It opens up this enormous health benefit potential of reducing stress, reducing inflammation, reducing muscle soreness, as well as increasing energy, enhancing mood, improving sleep. There's so many health benefits that come with just going into the chamber for 2.5 minutes. You can power through it. I challenge you to power through it. I know you can. And if you still are intimidated and you can't bring a friend in here, we will go in with you. We can coach you up while you're inside the chamber. We want to make you feel as comfortable as possible here at US Cryotherapy Austin. And that touches on everything today for the Fear of the Cold segment. Now, a couple things in heads up. Tomorrow, we have our Zumba with Priscilla. It's going to be so much fun, and we're probably going to take inside because it is a little bit of showers. There are some spots still remaining. Go check out our link in our link tree on our Instagram, or check it out on Facebook on our Facebook event. You can purchase those tickets on Eventbrite. Let's get you in here for a little Zumba and chill. Next week, we will be at Outdoor Voices. Woo! We are with Outdoor Voices. That is crazy. We're going to be at their shadow boxing event on the 10th. For South by Southwest weekend. South by Southwest, we are going to reveal our Party Hard, Recover Harder sale. You heard it here first. Okay, that's going to be a flash sale every single weekend, getting some good cryo recovery, as well as some oral rehydration solution, and our nifty little customized blender bottles. In the meantime, my name is Chase McKenzie. This was Chase's Corner. Keep Austin chill.